Imagine you're listening to a story that makes you want to stop everything else, to give it your full attention and stay until the very end, because the message within might just change the way you see your mind and your life. In a small village nestled among majestic mountains, there lived a young man named Ethan. He was 24 years old, the age people often call the peak of passion and hope. But for Ethan, it was a time filled with sleepless nights and a mind echoing with endless questions. The past, the future, what should I do? What am I afraid of? All day long, these thoughts would flash through his mind, one after another, leaving him exhausted, tense, and stripped of the simplest feeling of all, the ability to smile. In a small village nestled among majestic mountains, there lived a young man named Ethan. He was 24 years old, the age people often call the peak of passion and hope. But for Ethan, it was a time filled with sleepless nights and a mind echoing with endless questions. The past, the future, what should I do? What am I afraid of? All day long, these thoughts would flash through his mind, one after another, leaving him exhausted, tense, and stripped of the simplest feeling of all, the ability to smile. Until one day, Ethan heard about another village, high up on a hill, where an old man lived close to nature. People said this old man was once a renowned psychologist in the city, someone who had helped countless people rediscover the silence within their souls. Now he had left behind the noise of the city, choosing a simple life, a quiet one, believing that if he could find this man, he might also find what he'd been searching for: peace. With that hope in his heart, Ethan decided to leave his village. He journeyed through winding mountain paths, crossed forests, and climbed steep, uneven trails. With every step, he felt smaller in the vastness of nature. Then one afternoon, he finally arrived at the small village on the hill. Before him stood a humble cottage with a thatched roof, wrapped in vines and wildflowers. On the porch sat the old man, eyes closed, body relaxed, as if he were one with the world around him. Ethan stepped closer and spoke softly. "Sir, my mind never stops running. I can't stop thinking. I just want to find peace within. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, a gentle smile forming on his lips. He said, "You seek peace? Then I have a small task for you. Come with me." They walked out to the small yard behind the house. The old man picked up a glass of water, so full that even the slightest movement would make it spill. He handed the glass to Ethan and said, "Take this from here to the edge of the village and then return. But remember, not a single drop must be spilled." Ethan looked at the glass, the clear water shimmering in the golden light of the setting sun, and he understood. This wasn't just about carrying the glass. It was about maintaining balance within his own mind. Ethan began to walk. The path was narrow. People passed by, children played, shopkeepers called out to customers, dogs barked loudly. But Ethan didn't look to the sides, nor did he pay attention to the noise around him. His eyes stayed fixed on the glass of water in his hands. Step by step, he moved slowly, carefully. His gaze remained only on the path ahead and the glass he carried. The usual storm of thoughts in his mind began to fade. No, I used to. No, I will. Only now, and this glass of water. When Ethan returned, the old man smiled and asked, "Well done. But tell me, did you see the children playing by the road? Did you hear the dogs barking?" Ethan looked a little confused. "No, sir. I didn't see them. I didn't hear anything." The old man nodded gently and spoke in a calm voice. "That is the secret. When your mind is completely anchored in the present moment, when you are truly here and now, there is no room for fear, no space for chaos, and no unnecessary thoughts. In that state, you do not grieve for the past nor fear the future." Ethan looked around the yard. The day was fading, and the last rays of sunlight glowed softly over the grass and trees. In that moment, he understood. The peace he had been searching for didn't come from outside, not from the journey, not from the old man, not from the path he took, but from within himself. When he allowed his mind to rest, to step away from the past and the future, and to simply be in this moment, he finally found peace. Ethan bowed his head and said softly, "Sir, now I understand. If I want my mind to be quiet, I must keep it in this very moment. That's when true peace arrives." The old man smiled, as if he had been waiting a long time to hear those words. Outside the window, birds flew back to their nests, and the sky slowly dimmed. Ethan stepped down the path leading home, but the one who returned was no longer the anxious young man who had left. He was different now. He had found what he once thought was lost, the simple, gentle peace within his own heart. If you're listening to this story and see yourself in Ethan, caught in the past, anxious about the future, unable to stop your thoughts, pause for just a moment, take a deep breath, look around you, and bring your mind fully into the present moment. Let your mind rest. When you do, you'll discover that true peace isn't somewhere far away. It's been within you all along.